Eric Bieniemy has been a coordinator for the Chiefs now. He was the running backs coach, so he's been a coordinator for longer than this, but he was named the offensive coordinator in 2018. That's when he became that for the Kansas City Chiefs. And
was that Pat's first year as a starter?
Yeah, Pat's first year as a starter. And Andy says that Eric played a large part in their decision in moving up to selecting Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why he ultimately gave him that title as offensive coordinator. Plus, so he did the grunt work as well. All right. So what made me think about this, because we've been talking about this the last 2 years, Eric Bieniemy and the lack of black coaches in the NFL. But once again, the Super Bowl happens. Kansas City Chiefs win. The day after, two assistants of the losing team, the Philadelphia Eagles, they get the two remaining head coaching jobs.
Right after.
Right after. The defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles and the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. They get head coaching jobs, the last two remaining. And Eric B. doesn't even get an interview. But he has interviewed for a couple other positions. And also you can see in the bottom left corner, the Washington Commanders, they want him as a offensive coordinator. Right, the same role. Now
they got Ron Rivera, right?
Right. Yep. So basically, what's going on with Eric B is a couple of things, right? So as I had to dive in and see what is going on.
Yeah.
So number one, they believe that Andy Reid is the mastermind behind the offense, and he's calling majority of the plays. I don't know. Maybe they think Eric B is just there and just
No. I mean, I get that. I get that perspective. Okay, that's the thing.
So that's one thing. But also, Eric B does come with a checkered past. But we're talking about a past of 20-plus years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was arrested, right? As a player, and one for a bar fight. He was arrested for a bar fight with a teammate. Second, he was he didn't go to jail for it, but he was accused for assaulting a woman once. All right, like I said, all of this is plus 20 years ago. It hasn't been a repeated behavior over years.
Right.
This is like during his playing career and maybe a year or two after the bar fight thing. All right, so that's that. I can't imagine them holding a person to that over 20-plus years ago. Maybe
yeah, that's kind of crazy.
But that's a long time. It's not like
there's something super weird going on though.
Yeah,
with him in particular. I mean, the league's capacity or track record of hiring black coaches is not good.
Well, five head coaches were taken on this year. None of them went to a black coach.
Right. Last year there was a couple that went, and then one of them was the Bucs, where like kind of Arians stepped down late with the kind of understanding.
I don't even count that. Yeah.
Right. But I mean that was a situation.
Yeah.
But but Bieniemy in particular, because he's basically done what you're supposed to do. Like you get into coaching, you're on the grind, you get to the coordinator spot, you're on a successful team, a championship team, a 2-time championship team, and you can't get a whiff of a head coaching job. I mean, that's literally insane. Yeah. I don't understand that at all. And again, you're talking is the reason like a couple criminal blotches 20+ years ago. That's not valid. That's not worth not looking at a guy. And I don't know. I mean, if you meet Eric Bieniemy, is there something off? I mean, I start to wonder. And I mean, everybody's not perfect or whatever. I'm not saying that, but like, is there something about him when you interview him that he just comes off not well?
Right.
Like a dick, or whatever. It's kind of, I don't know. It's you almost pull your hair out trying to figure out what exactly is wrong with this situation, because the resume is what the resume should be to get a great head coaching opportunity.
No.
You got something you want to add to it?
No, I really just second B Pink's point of. It's the unknown. I mean, 'cause the obvious thing is, let's just throw it out there, race.
Right.
The race. Okay. Once you take that off the board, he's been a part of both championship teams, correct?
Yeah.
So at that point, it kind of is. Hey, listen, it's just not in your cards sometimes to maybe be a head coach, or you just, let's say it was 20 years ago, but that person you wronged has a relationship with somebody in the NFL, and people hold grudges, and sometimes, unfortunately, especially in the sports realm, perception is reality for some people. So,
Well,
you know,
And then joking matter, but maybe not joking. Maybe it was a white woman he hit.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
listen.
No, I'm out, but I think you made a good point.
You know?
The grudge might not go back to that crime 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It might be something that he has done more recently, or during his NFL coaching career
That
where
we just don't
Yeah,
know
we
about.
don't know, and that's
where
the
he
part.
rubbed
Like,
somebody
there's
wrong,
nothing
you don't
public.
know.
They didn't Ime Udoka him, like
No,
so.
yeah, that's
But
what
it
I'm
could be
saying.
something crazy like that we just do not
No,
privy
that-
to
that-
have the information about.
That is correct. And my overall rant that goes in here because we don't know, but what we do know is that it hasn't been anything egregious enough to hit the mainstream media.
Yeah,
So
Absolutely.
for sure.
we
for
do
sure,
know that,
for
right?
Sure,
Absolutely.
For sure.
And this goes back to my main rant from the Ed Reed saga, which molded into the Deion thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our community, we stand on and fight and moan and for the wrong things. Like, we don't stand up for the right things. Like, we stand up and we march and we fucking trend on social media and we curse and we make a big deal out of what the media tells us to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense.
I
get
Like
it. No, it does.
I get what you're saying.
like this has been a crazy thing that we have dealt with over the last, since the NFL has been in the thing. We play for the NFL. We use our bodies, all of that stuff, and what they tell us is we're not good enough to be a head coach and to lead a team in the NFL. That's basically what these NFL owners are telling us. Now, I don't put that on the NFL owners. That's their team. That's their money. They can hire whoever the hell they want to hire.
Mm-hmm.
My beef is with these guys who don't say anything about it. I don't know if they're scared. I don't know what.
Well, which guys? The coaching
All
candidates?
of the candidates, the former players, the guys who are upset about their office having a couple pieces of trash on it and cursing
wow.
and making that trend on social media.
Yeah.
My beef is with these guys who want to be coaches but continually get shitted on by the NFL because the NFL is showing you they are hire guys who haven't even coached a Pop Warner game before.
Yeah.
Why
That, idiot
are
in
we not?
Indianapolis.
Yes. Why are we not standing on sofas and cursing to the high heels about that? Why? Why? You know what I mean? That's my main. I can't figure it out for the life of me, and that's where my beef is at. And because this is going to continually to happen. It's going to continue to happen because we're showing we don't really give a damn. Shout out to Ryan Clark. He put out this tweet, but that's going to be it. That's going to be the extent of that. But I at least appreciate him for that. Sounds good to be a losing coordinator in the Super Bowl and be a head coach in 2 days. Congrats Gannon and Steichen, the other guy who got it. So,
Yeah.
and he just went ahead and gave Bieniemy's record there over the last few years, but that's my thing, man. I just can't figure out for the life of me, and maybe I'll never know why. Maybe I think the only thing I can kind of understand is if they're afraid, if they speak out and curse about this stuff, that they'll never have a chance.
Well, if you're Eric Bieniemy, if you harbor desire of being a head coach still, and you haven't just given up and reached zero fucks given,
Yeah.
you're not going to make a rash statement.
There you
If
go.
you reach a point where you're comfortable where you are with the Chiefs, Andy Reid's got your back, and the rest of it doesn't matter, then you come out and say, hey, this is, you just go do an interview with somebody and say, this is ridiculous.
point, for
Here's
sure.
exactly what's happened. I own everything that I did in the past. I haven't been in trouble in 20-plus years, and I've coordinated the best offense in the league over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I have 2 Super Bowl titles. Just
We're
say it.
trending towards that, though.
But he's not. He's not doing it.
No.
Like that's the
I'm
thing.
saying we're trending towards that needing to be done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
you
agree
go.
with
I
you.
think that's a great idea.
I agree with you.
I think that's
What's the Dolphins coach that spoke out?
Brian Flores.
Brian
So-
Flores.
so
he
what
did
I'm-
that. He got to that point.
And then looks and then he got hired. I mean, all but by the Steelers. Now we
Tomlin.
understand. but at least it wasn't like the big step. It was a mini step into
that was
the
a
right
handout.
direction.
Yeah,
that was
And
a
so at the
handout.
end of the day, I agree with your rant for sure. But I also agree with B. Pink. Think of it from Eric B's perspective. Like, Andy Reid's not going to be there forever.
Well,
You know,
and
so-
I do
so-
think that's something to consider. I mean,
Yeah.
is there something in place where there's a succession plan.
Andy Reid,
No.
Andy Reid gets
You don't think
out
so?
and it's Eric B.
I know Eric Bieniemy is seeking out interviews because
Oh, he's been on like 12 or 13, he said.
because
Something like that.
they've had talks.
Yeah.
Like Andy can play around and I may retire at the Super Bowl. Then after the Super Bowl, oh no, I'm not retiring. I know if he has to have had talks with Eric B. Like, nah, man. As long as Mahomes is kicking, I'm probably gonna stick around as long as I can.
Yeah.
As long as my health allows me to.
What do you think the impact of the Todd Bowles shit show was?
For black coaches
black
or for
coaches.
Eric B.
I think it's a problem.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that you hear in this dynamic is that when black head coaches are hired, it's like the Texans with David Calley and
They're
Lovie
not-
Smith.
yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
They're
they're
hired at really bad jobs
Yeah.
with the expectation you're not going to do anything
So
anyway.
in 2-3 years you're out. You're
Yeah,
gone.
and then basically the intent of the Bucks transition was Tom's coming back. You've got this super talented roster. You have at it, and again, I don't know. There was injuries involved. I get all that, but at the end of the day, as a coach, they ask you how many games you won.
Yeah.
And they didn't win enough. And I think that, if you look at recent black coaching hires, he was probably as well situated to have some success as anybody in recent memory, and it was a disaster.
Yeah, but I don't think so. I mean, you can make an argument, I guess, but you have an aging quarterback who let's just plain not put it. He was bad at a lot of times, a lot of moments. Couldn't
Yeah.
push the ball down the field. He had was more interceptions than he had in the last few years.
Looked more human this year, for sure.
Tons of injuries from the on the offense perspective. The defense took a huge drop when he's the offensive guy. Like that
He's a
team.
defensive guy.
I mean, but I'm sorry.
Which doesn't help, and that's what
It doesn't help, but the defense dealt with a lot of injuries as well.
Yeah. Well, when you break it down, there's clearly a lot of things that didn't go
That
right.
team was not the same team from the year before.
But-
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
No, for sure.
But when he was when he got the job, the expectation was to contend, and they fell well short of that. And again, as the head guy, you're always going to take heat on that.
Yeah, but the problem is we're always getting the fucking chitlins of the
And
world.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
the
You know what I mean?
the
I get that.
That's not
the
fair.
expectations for us is we need miracles.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
we
Miracles
got to
only.
go from ashy to classy in 1-2 seasons where
Yeah.
white coaches seem to have a longer leash. Which again, these are things I think at this point in 2023 we know.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that and that's why I think this Eric B situation is like we know the race part is there. That's why I said that in the beginning. But what I'm saying is that sometimes you could be the problem. Maybe
Yeah.
because think about this. He's successful. This also shows me about relationships, the importance of it. You telling me there's nobody that can pick up the phone and be like, man, listen, it's time for Eric B.
Yeah.
to get a shot.
And I mean, here's another thing. When has Andy Reid had more respect than he does now?
Yeah.
He's really
Just got it.
the guy.
Yeah.
Like once he won the Super Bowl, it validated all of his success and work going into that.
He's getting
And
commercials now,
Yeah,
all that,
I mean
yeah.
he's at an all-time high if that's your guy.
Yeah.
For him to pick up a phone or do whatever.
Exactly.
And I don't know. I mean, and that's why I kind of said, is there a succession plan in the sense of this, that Andy Reid may say the landscape and be like, this is total bullshit, but know that when I step down, you're getting this.
Yeah, and
Again, that
and in
may
that
be the
case
only
is kind
thing
of
he
why
can
he's
do. I
not
don't
maybe as
know.
vocal. Because like, man, I'm gonna get the keys to the Bentley when it's done.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just speculating.
I
that
understand,
could be
but
a thought.
I know that's not. It's not his
Because-
ideal
Oh
situation.
yeah, no. He
know what I mean?
feels overdue to be a head coach.
Yeah,
you
he
want
feel-
that opportunity.
Yeah, you don't want to wait around 5 months. It's not like he's 30 something,
Yeah,
Like,
no,
you
he's
know what I
right
mean?
behind you. Yeah, for
So
sure.
but I understand those were some great points. I just wanted to get that out.
Can I
there.
ask this for both of you? If the contingency plan of Andy leaving, Eric getting the job, if he didn't get the job when Andy left, is that worse than the situations he's been in?
That says a
before?
lot more about him.
Yeah.
You
When
think it spotlights-
they can't know you any better than
Yeah,
they would.
and he still doesn't get
and
the
if
job.
you get past at that point, I agree.
Then it kind of
that's
validates
the-
this whole thing. Like, if he doesn't get it after Andy leaves, I think that's more of a spotlight on him.
Oh, 1000%.
Per se,
Yeah,
as this
1000%.
gives outlets a chance to, and rightfully so in some cases, blame the NFL But Andy leaves, they say he's an interim. Even if they say interim, still that's like, hold up, bro. Like,
I would feel shaky if they interviewed someone else.
that would be crazy.
Right.
That'd be crazy.
If it's not a direct succession.
Yeah.
But again, you know,
Because the Bucks thing was a direct succession.
There you go.
But again, though, that puts tremendous pressure. Assuming this happens during what we expect to be the long Pat Mahomes prime.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if he gets that job by succession,
There's no excuses.
he better win. You,
No.
you know, you got the best quarterback in football.
And then that would, and if he failed at that, then you can kind of
Then all that stuff.
And
Andy must have done everything.
Yeah.
Everybody was right to pass you over.
Yeah.
And in
it
a
all
weird,
comes
and in
back.
a weird, unfortunate way, it kind of validates the NFL.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Reason of like this
Yeah.
is why we don't hire black coaches. You know, so
Well, that's where I was going with the Todd Bowles thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's definitely reasons that it happened, but if you look at the superficial, racist manner in which the league owners behave,
Yeah.
that just fits a narrative.
Yeah.
That hey,
Man.
you had this.
But even if so, he deserves that right to fail.
for sure.
Because
I
all these
get
other
that. I
coaches,
get that.
the Las Vegas Raiders, that guy he's had several chances to fail and he has failed over and over again.
Listen, outside of being a head,
He was he was under the Patriots.
yeah.
He's a Belichick guy. And also another thing is, 3 other coaches, 2 I know for sure, who were Andy Reid's assistants, offensive assistants, have gotten head coaches jobs. They've just been white. Doug Peterson. And I had it written down on my phone, and another guy.
I just know Doug
for sure.
Yeah.
So it's that we can't use that excuse that he does everything because you have had.
I heard one take. It was they had
Matt Nagy and Matt Nagy.
a special teams coach got a nod before him. A college guy got a nod before. That's when it's like, man, this is
what's
this one of them situations where it's a head scratcher for sure.
I wish they could like release some interview notes and.
No, I'm really.
Is
curious.
Eric falling asleep in these interviews? Like, is it showing up late? Is he on
It's
CP time?
Bro, it's got to be something.
Is he on
like,
CP time?
Like he's mean to the catering team or something. You know, like, bro, he's
Yeah, that is.
No,
funny.
but we'll see where that goes for sure.